Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Capricorn is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Capricorn, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 5 of Swords. You're changing your mind about something, right? I feel that there is maybe there's kind of an argument that's been going on around you lately. Maybe just internally. Maybe we're arguing with ourselves about something. Maybe there is there's a debate with someone close to you in your life. Okay, now we need to see what's going on with this card. This is the card, at least, of sort of mental energy flowing. There's a wind. There's a breeze that's blowing around, right? Is this going to be a very productive exchange, or is this going to reinforce some negativity in our life? Is this going to bring us some positivity? Like, what are we doing with our thoughts here? What are you thinking about so much, Capricorn? What's on your mind? Let's take a look at some other cards here. Well, we're figuring that out. This is the Queen of Swords. We're trying to get we're trying to get an objective view of a very subjective experience. Okay? So you're asking the same question. What is on my mind? What do I keep thinking about? Why do I keep maybe having the same kind of thoughts here? We've got a 5 of Wands. We've got the Sun card. Clarity. We've got a 4 of Wands. Now we've got a 5 and a 4. And we've got the 2. So we're sort of getting out of the mental energy, and we're following the intuition a little bit over here, okay? Here we have the Lust or Strength card. We have a 7 of Wands. We've got the Builder, the Prince of Pentacles, and the Lover's card. So we see a reconciliation here. We see a coming back together of energies, okay? And this is serious, okay? Because whatever's on your mind now, I feel like there is the threat that it's going to split you, either away from your partner, away from your job, away from your work, away from yourself, away from the clarity and the spirit of your life itself, right? So I kind of feel that there's something going on in your life right now where it feels like there is some mental chaos. There's mental stress. Okay, something is sort of wearing on your mind lately. And what we want to have is a union. We want to use our mental energy to bring things closer together, not split things apart. Maybe this is splitting things apart. Whereas the alternative then is bringing things together. The Lover's card doesn't necessarily mean that this is a romantic situation, but it could be. What the Lover's card really is about is choosing unity over division, choosing coming together and bonding and uniting over separating and going a different direction, rather than the split, right? We're trying to heal the rift. Okay? And so this could be you're thinking of leaving something or someone. You're thinking of quitting what you're doing. You're thinking of giving up, right? And then with that Lover's card, we see that we're not giving up. What we're doing is recommitting to what we believe in. And whether that means maybe you're in a relationship where it's irreconcilable. Well, then that Lover's card doesn't mean that you have to stay with the person. No. It means that you are choosing to unite with what is real and true within yourself. And maybe to do that, it means, I got to be honest, I can't be in this relationship anymore, because maybe the relationship is really dividing you against yourself. Okay, so we can look at this in different ways, but let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're just going to set it down here with a little bell schnickel. Cheer or fear, bell schnickel is here. Now we're not looking at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this program you feel like you might know what that card is, leave your hunch, your prediction, or your guess down below in the comments. Okay? Let's take a look around the room. Very interesting things here. We see some spiritual energy at very key points. The past, the present energy, and the future energy. Okay? Or the future result of your energy. Okay? So we have a past event, a current state, and a future event. Okay? And the major arcana in these very key points, we're creating sort of an equilateral triangle. I think that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong, please, all of you mathematicians out there. But these cards are very key points, right? It's kind of an enlargement of the past, present, future that we see here. This is more cosmic past, cosmic present, cosmic future here in a spiritual way. We had a unity here, right, with the sun. And now there is, with this luster strength card, now it's going to require the utmost of your spiritual will, right, to bring that unity back together. So somewhere along the line, it's implying that our sun card here, our self, our idea of wholeness, we're starting to question it. Things, maybe there's all this air energy here, right? So it's kind of, we're wondering if we are, if we're getting further away from our true self. Okay, or further away from the unity that we have experienced at one time. So interesting major arcana. The clarity in your life, your sense of self, your energy, your appetite, your belief in yourself, your creative, magical power. This is that passion and lust for life, right? Bringing about a even deeper unity. So you do not want to lose this sense of self, the clarity about who you are, and the spiritual light that is shining within you, Capricorn. You need to mobilize it into creative. See, now the sun, I mean, these three cards together, just look. Get rid of all that stuff. Look at that. I mean, that is really, really nice. Okay? Knowing who you are, realizing that you have a gift to offer the world, and finding passion in that, finding the belief in yourself. The lust card here is that card that says, I can do anything. I am invincible. I am immortal. I can reach up into the night sky and pull out a star for myself, you know, that I can literally do anything. And of course, the lover's card becomes you choosing to live that life filled with purpose, that you are inspired to say yes to something. You're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to your passionate true self. You're saying yes to your path. And now we've had readings for you, Capricorn, in the past that have said you didn't always shine your light. That there were things or events or even people in your life that convinced you not to shine your light. Maybe when you were a kid, your parents used to tell you, keep it down, don't be so loud, don't draw attention to yourself, stay humble, stay quiet, dim your shine, right? And I think that there was a certain point in your life where you said, no. I'm not going to dim my shine. In fact, I'm going to let it shine even brighter. I'm going to shine my light as bright as it can possibly shine, right? So anyway, I think I put everything back the way it was. Actually, no, I didn't. This goes like that. Yes. So we've got fire, a lot of fire here. We don't have any water. We do have air, and we have a little bit of earth. Okay. And the earth energy even is kind of it's just kind of a secondary consideration, right? It's kind of not even really all that important. It's in the position of the obstacle, the difficulty, and it really is just getting the wheels moving in something and getting the materials nailed together with the hammer and nails. This is the builder. And that's just kind of saying, look, it's going to be a lot of work. You're going to have to do it. You're going to have to build the thing. If it's a relationship, if it's a new life, if it's a career, if it's an artistic thing, whatever we're talking about here, yeah, you're going to have to, you're going to have to get your hands dirty and really use your muscles and use your physical body to do the thing. It's going to require some sort of behavior, right, in the physical world. But what we're really mostly, I think, talking about is the 1, 2, 3 majors, the 1, 2, 3 fire cards, and the 1, 2, 3 air cards. Okay? Because this is fire to earth. This is, you have this inspiration, right? You have this inspiration to do something with your life, to shine your light out into the world. We have this sun card. You're somebody. You are a very special somebody in this life, you know? And the star card, or the sun card, is basically the star, right? Because, you know, the sun is a star anyway. But this is our star. This is me. You know, this is now I've realized who I am and why I'm here. So you are an absolutely unique, one-of-a-kind individual. There was never another like you, and there never will be. So you are essential to this universe, okay? And you are a powerhouse of this creative spiritual light. So was everybody else potentially, but we're not worried about that. This is for you, you know? And so we see this ability to fight, to work, to assert ourselves. We've got some really strong, the fire energy, right? The spiritual energy being that identification with our capabilities, being that passion and that sort of self-realized spiritual force, that consciousness. Okay, and then we're converting that into fire energy. So the spiritual fire becomes a very practical fire that says, you know what, now I'm motivated to do this. Now I want to do it, and I feel fired up, and I wake up in the morning, and I cannot wait to get going. But now we got equal pressure coming from the swords cards, but we've got to get through the mental stuff. We've got to get through whatever has been stressing us out, whatever's been on our mind so much lately. Is there a blockage that you're trying to clear away? Okay. Is there some inertia? Maybe the Four of Wands is kind of saying that there's been a pattern that we've been repeating too long, that we're stuck on a merry-go-round. We're stuck on this particular Ferris wheel, and I don't like it. And I know that something's got to change here. And this is like, it may not be a blockage necessarily, but it's kind of this feeling like something's stuck. That I'm stuck on this Ferris wheel. I keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Is this a wheel of karma? Okay, is that what this is here? And so there is this Five of Wands underneath the surface that's basically saying, I know something needs to change, but what? What can I do? You know, what changes can I make? We have this feeling inside of us that we need to fight for something. What do I need to fight for? What do I need to fight against? What is the obstacle? What is the enemy? And maybe just fighting against our own inertia. Right? A body at rest stays at rest. We're on this merry-go-round, and we start to feel like this is now, I'm used to this now. I'm on this carousel. This is it. It gets familiar. It gets comfortable here. I keep repeating the same thing. Every time I go around the carousel, I see the same group of people going by, the same scenery out there. It keeps coming and coming. You ever have that sort of experience when you're a kid and you're in the car and your parents are driving or something, and every time you look out the window, you see trees, houses, and other cars. And then you look out again, trees, houses, and other cars. And you think, are we driving in a circle? It kind of just seems like the world is just going around you like this, you know? And so it kind of is a way of saying that we've found ourselves repeating a lot of things in our life, the same kind of relationships, the same kind of, creative endeavor, the same kind of thoughts, the same kind of behaviors and actions. And we're starting to recognize that we kind of need to get off that carousel. That, yeah, it hasn't been a series of bad relationships. It hasn't been a repetition of kind of one situation after another. It's been a repeat of the same thing over and over and over again. Okay? The Four of Wands is a card called completion. It's kind of like saying we've done the carousel. It's time to get off and go find a different ride at the carnival or whatever, you know? It's time to realize that we have been going in a circle, and that we need to just get off this ride and take ourselves in a different direction. Okay? So sometimes it's an unseen thing that we something is not right. We feel almost an anxiety here with the Five of Wands that something has to change. Okay? And even with the Seven of Wands, us realizing that if we're not pushing against something in life, then we're just going round and round and round and round. So round and round and round is sort of lulling us back to sleep. We're starting to close our eyes a little bit, get a little sleepy and a little tired. And so it's that rhythm that we get into. We just keep doing the same thing, and it just starts to feel normal, starts to feel comfortable, and we sort of, over time, we lose the desire to change. You know, I used to drink a lot, right? And then at first, when I realized, okay, something's got to give here, you know. I'd wake up and I'd have this, I'd try to fight against it, you know. And then by the evening, there I was again repeating the same thing and drinking and drinking and drinking. And I think you get so far into that sometimes this power to fight against that just starts to diminish, and it becomes almost this acceptance. This is just my life. And so it's easier to just give up the fight, throw in the towel, wave the white flag, and just say, this is my merry-go-round, this is my karma, this is my life, and I'm just going to keep going around and around and around. But the Seven of Wands is kind of like we're waking back up and we're saying, wait a minute, no, 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 no. I'd rather fight every day and lose the fight, right? Lose the battle. I'd rather do that than just completely surrender. Even if I wake up every day and I'm fighting against something and by the end of the day I've lost, well, that's better than not fighting at all. That's better than not trying in any way, right? So anyway, the fire energy has its challenges with the mental energy. And what you're trying to do right now, I feel like, is you're trying to get an objective viewpoint. You're trying to say, okay, what is on my mind? What is this stress and this uneasiness? These two cards together, a 5 and a 5, right? Kind of shows that there's some mental stress here, and I'm trying to find out where it's coming from. Well, it's coming from this energy within you that's trying to sort of break forward and say, look, we've got to change our life in some way. We've got to do something differently than the way we've always been doing it. Maybe this has to do with a particular relationship you're in or a pattern of relationships. Maybe this is the way that you approach your creative life, or the way you approach your business, or the way you approach your work, your career, or your passions, or anything like this. We realize that things have become too routine almost. Yeah. But the Queen of Swords is trying to get an objective view of our own thoughts. We're trying to look at our own mind and say, okay, what's got me so stressed out? Why do I feel that I'm just like, sometimes with the Five of Swords, we just wake up in the morning and we're already stressed out. Well, the day hasn't even begun yet, And we find that we're not able to really relate to people, that we're not having harmonious interactions with people, that everything seems like a fight. That even the Seven of Wands in the position of your environment, even the people that we usually would get along with now, we feel like we're kind of fighting with everybody. There's something in you that's telling you something's got to change here. There's something that you're doing that is, it's lulling your conscious mind to sleep, but your unconscious mind, your unconscious will, your heart, your spirit is kind of saying, no, wake up, wake up. And so we feel this sort of agitation inside, but a lot of the time we can't really pinpoint it. And then, of course, it becomes just a general mental stress, even verging on anxiety, which is this amorphous, diffuse feeling of something ain't right. Something's got to change, but I can't pinpoint anything. I don't know what that is, right? So we're trying to get an objective view and look at our mind and ask ourselves, okay, what's on my mind? What is it that I'm really, if you find yourself being more angry, short-tempered maybe, why am I really angry? I'm not angry because, they got my order wrong at the coffee shop. Why am I really so upset? Why am I frustrated? Why do I feel stressed out? I like that we have a 5 and a 4 here, because with the 4 and the 5, to me, this says, okay, we know something has been stagnating. We know we've got to change something. Anytime we get a 5, we start looking around for the 4. So I think we're trying to identify things in life that we really need to alter or to adjust in certain ways. And even this is a Libra energy, the Queen. The Queen of Swords is implying this kind of a real-time discernment, right, of what we're doing. It's not exactly related to the Libra energy, but it is this idea of trying to balance what have I been doing and what's been working versus what do I know hasn't been working and needs to change. So we're sort of weighing our life. We're trying to look at things objectively, right? I guess I maybe should say this is more of a Gemini energy, right? Where we are trying to split things up in a way. We're trying to split up our lives and say, okay, let me look at everything that's working and let me keep doing that. But let me also find the things that aren't working and figure out how to change those. Are there relationships that aren't working? Okay. The Two of Swords in the future position. This is showing that we can use this mental energy for good, for positive things, to really be able to look at ourselves objectively and in other words, to observe ourselves, to say, okay, if I change this or that, what's going to happen? Maybe this is the idea of let's changing what we believe. Let's change what we believe in. Let's change what the story that we're telling ourselves. Okay. Because sometimes the Five of Swords is really just a disbelief. It's sort of a surrender, right? Five of Swords. It's a card called defeat. We feel defeated before we even get up out of bed in the morning, before we even start the day. Well, what happens if we start believing something else? What happens if we start believing that we are a unique spiritual being in this vast universe with a composition all our own, with a will and intention all our own, that we are powerful and capable, right? What happens if we choose to believe that we are this radiant sun? Well, let's just try it and observe. Let's experiment. Maybe the 5 to the 4 of Wands here is saying, let's just try changing a few things. Let's see what happens if we believe that we are this shining, radiant sun. Let's see what happens if we believe that we are capable of creating. And let's just see what happens. If it doesn't quite work out, we can change what we believe, but just as an experiment. Yeah, just as an experiment. Let's tinker with life a little bit. Okay. I do think that there's a relationship in your life right now that feels like it's challenging. It feels like you're being blocked. It feels like there's tension and conflict with somebody. Maybe it's at work, at home, at school. Maybe it's a family member, it's a friend, it's a significant other. But it's making you question, am I really supposed to be here? Do I really want this? Right? And the Two of Swords is a card called peace. And I like to think of this as peace of mind. And this is your ability to sleep well at night. Okay? And I think that we're not going to sleep well at night until we realize that we are this radiant sun and we sort of enter into this closer union with ourselves. Okay? Even if this means that we have to pull away from some relationships in life that just aren't working for us. How many times does somebody have to, show you every possible way they can that they don't really care about you before you say, okay, you know what, I'm out of here. Right? We keep doing the things we've always been doing, and we're going to keep getting the same results. So the 5 of Wands here is saying, we got to change something. We can't keep doing the same thing because we're going to get the same exact results, and then we're going to be stuck here. We're going to be stuck here, kind of with the same sort of stress that we have now, the same sort of agitation. But if we go this way, if we begin our life, if we begin each day with the premise that I'm a radiant sun, and I can observe what my mind is doing as the radiant sun, it puts us into an identification with something much deeper than just the mind. If the mind is identified as itself, if we feel like I am a mind, then we're not going to be able to see our mind, just like the eye cannot see itself, right? So we need that mirror, and in other words, we have to sort of realize that we are something else. We are not just our thoughts, right? And then we'll be able to identify those things that are sort of frustrating our souls, right? And how they need to be altered or changed or completely let go of. Sometimes the 4 of Wands is that card of I got to tie up some loose ends. I've got to let go of some things. It's kind of like saying that there is this particular roller coaster that you're on. It's coming to, the ride's over. It's coming to an end. Okay. And the Two of Wands, again, is, Two of Swords. It's not this, it's sometimes a card of separation, right? Because we have now two swords. We're kind of like you over there, me over here. Okay. And sometimes we need that distance from something or someone in order to find a peace of mind, right? If we keep having this frustrated Five of Swords, Five of Wands energy, maybe it's saying that, look, there is just an incompatibility or fundamental incompatibility. And whether we have to distance ourselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally from that, maybe it's a coworker. And maybe it's just like, stop engaging with that person. There's no, to stay in that argument is not leading you anywhere, but 5 to 4 of Wands, there's continued frustration. And we're on that merry-go-round. We keep doing the same thing. Every day we go to work, we keep having the same experience with this person. It's like we're reliving the same day over and over again. We're going in circles here. So sometimes just saying, you know what, I'm done. I'm not going to engage with that person. I'm not going to let what they do agitate me. Maybe this is saying, okay, well, I don't need to hang out with that friend anymore. Or it could be something more serious. I don't want that job anymore. Or I don't want this relationship, this partnership anymore. Okay? We got to do what we got to do so we can sleep well at night. And sometimes that means that we have to distance ourselves from those other energies that for whatever reason, when we mix with it, is bad news. Like some people in tequila, just don't mix. Yeah, it's just a bad combination where it creates this agitation. What we want is peace of mind. We also want unity. We want the ability to recognize ourselves as a higher spiritual being, as a radiant sun. We want to have the passion. We want to have the appetite and the lust for life. We want to have this enthusiasm. We want to wake up and feel like we're going to take on the world today, right? And we want to unite with our purpose. We want to unite with our higher selves. We want to find the right people in our lives. We want to say yes to things that are going to bring us more joy and that are going to help us realize our solar spiritual nature and to help encourage us on our path to fulfill our destiny, right? And so we're trying to surround ourselves with positive influences and get out of what's ever been on your mind right now. I think you've been stuck there for a minute. Okay, at the very beginning we asked, what's on your mind, Capricorn? And I think it's just the same thing again. And whether it's different people, but the same situation, or maybe it's the same situation with the same people, I don't know. But you've got to figure that out. You've got to be able to look at it objectively and think, okay, every time I get around this person, it's the same thing again. Or every time I go to work and I get frustrated with this person, it's the same exchange. It's the same day over and over again. Now, it's possible that we're experiencing this in a lot of different places with a lot of different people. Over on the Path of the Serpent. Now, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. It is totally free. It doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. So, anyway, with the Lust or Strength card here as your general energy, you are motivated. You have an appetite. You have this creative will. You have a magical power about you that wants to create. That there is this life that you're just lusting after this creative life, right? That you're fired up, right? But this frustrating sort of mental energy is kind of saying that every time I try to start something, like I just run into the same walls or the same frustrations, the same doubts or the same like frustrating relationships, the same people, the same kind of drama or conflict, the same arguments, over and over and over again. Sometimes we have to realize the Seven of Wands is saying we've been banging our head against a brick wall. There's just no point in doing that. You're doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, And so this is saying maybe we need a different approach. Maybe we either say, this isn't the situation for me, or that's not the person for me, or we say, okay, why is it that every situation I'm in, things kind of go down this road? Well, it must be that I'm doing something kind of off, If every relationship you have is frustrating and chaotic, is the problem with all of the other people, right? Or is the problem with me? And sometimes it takes a real Queen of Swords to realize that, oh, hey, okay, well, the only common denominator here has been me. What have I been doing? How have I been behaving? What patterns have I been repeating? Have I gotten too far away from this essential solar nature? And now I'm just sort of back in this frustrated sort of mental ego nature. And I'm not saying that's what's happening to you, but I think we need that objective viewpoint to say, okay, why do I keep doing the same thing over and over again? And what can I do differently? Maybe it is the other people. Maybe and I don't think we're trying to place blame here in that way. I think we're trying to recognize whether this situation is worth fighting for, and we keep showing up, we keep working hard to make this one work. And that might mean that I've got to change a little bit in how I deal with it, because we can't change other people. Or do we have the realization that this isn't worth fighting for anymore, and I need to take myself into a better set of circumstances? I think we also, in that case, we still need to realize how we've been behaving so that when we get to the new situation, we don't just repeat the same things that we've been doing. Okay. So we have that sort of repetition energy. We have that sort of that merry-go-round of karma that says you're going to stay on this carousel until you kind of learn that lesson, right? And the same things keep repeating and repeating and repeating. It's not because we're cursed. It's not because of the other people are so horrible. No, usually it's because I keep saying the same things and doing the same things that I did before. And I'm not trying to victim blame or anything. The only thing we can change is us. We can't change other people. If we find that we're in just yet another one of these situations, we've got to start doing something differently. We either need a new tool in the toolbox, or we've got to start building something else. We can't control other people. So it's not about the blame game here, right? And that's what we got to get away from with our Two of Swords here. We want the peace of mind. We're not going to be happy if we just blame everybody else. And we're not going to be happy if we say it's all my fault. Let's just say there's some blame everywhere. That it's just, this is life. Life isn't so cut and dry like that. So we're not trying to assign blame. I'm trying to say, what can I do differently? Do I need a new environment? Or do I need to kind of use a different tool in my toolbox? Not everything's a nail. I don't have to always be the hammer, How can I approach this situation differently to get a different outcome? Or maybe I don't need to approach it at all. Maybe I learn my lesson and I walk away. In an effort to become more unified with who we really are and what we're really trying to do here, what is it that you are trying to build? The builder energy, the Prince of Pentacles in the position of the obstacle here, right? Because the obstacle is really you're trying to build your life, but there's just challenges, right? There's just these kind of, we keep coming up against the same problems again. And it's like, all I want to do is build my life. Why do I keep running into the same frustrations and the same problems every time I sort of go, I wake up in the morning and I approach my life and I'm trying to build my best life and I keep running into the same problems? It's like you're trying to pass a math test, and every time you turn in your paper, teacher says, no, you got that one wrong. And it's like, okay, let me try again. Hand it in. Nope, the answer's still wrong. You ever have that frustration in school? I did all the time, especially with math. I used to hate math when I was in elementary school. And so there was this one problem. I don't remember what the problem was. It was multiplication of some kind. And I remember that I was getting so frustrated. And every time I would turn in the answer, the teacher would say, no, try again. And I'd erase, I'd figure it out again. Nope, try again. And I erased so much on that sheet of paper that I ended up erasing the paper and put a hole right through the paper from erasing and erasing and erasing and erasing and erasing. And I'm probably getting more and more frustrated, so I was erasing harder, And it eventually, I think the teacher had to just show me what I was doing wrong and say, No, see this, you're not carrying the one or whatever, right? And it's so obvious after the fact, but I was getting so frustrated that I would, I'd get really, really, really mad at myself because I couldn't figure it out. But the problem was I was just going back and I was doing the same thing again. It's like, okay, well, you multiply that and then you move it over and you add the 0 and that's the answer. But coming up with the same answer to the same problem, you know it's going to be wrong, right? Or maybe it's like, well, maybe it's a 4. I don't know. Then we start guessing and whatever. So I'm kind of going off topic a bit. But that's the frustration. It's kind of in a way, it's like, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if it's just this class, this problem. Maybe the problem's wrong. Maybe the teacher's wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know how to do this particular math problem. But all I know is that this exchange isn't working. So either the teacher says, here's the right answer, or I just say, you know what, I quit. Give me the F on the test. I don't care. I'm walking away. But to stay in that loop of keep passing the paper back and you're getting more angry. And then you perform worse, right? When you're that frustrated, it's just like, I don't care. I'm just going to write whatever number is on there. And then that's going to be wrong. And that's going to make you even more mad. So it's reinforcing this frustration. And every iteration of this, we sort of perform worse because we're so frustrated. So it's really this a never-ending downward spiral. Okay, something's got to stop because you need this peace of mind. You got to be able to sleep well at night. And you sleep well at night by either the teacher says, here's the right answer, here's what you did wrong, and you go home and you sleep well kind of thinking, okay, well now that tension has been released. Or you walk away, you say, I'll take the F on the paper and I'm out of here, I'm going to go home. And you sleep well at night because you don't have to worry about seeing that problem again tomorrow and having to keep turning it in, and you're out of the loop. You're out of that cycle. You're off the carousel there. However that needs to happen, for you to sleep better at night. But you are trying to build something in life. There's a reason why we're in that math class, right? We're trying to get good at something. We're trying to do something, accomplish something. We're trying to get closer to our purpose. We're trying to marry ourselves to what we're really meant to do. Okay, and I think the fire in the air that's getting in the way of that is very frustrating. But you are this radiant sun, and you have this capability, this magical power in you, and you are going to come together with your purpose, okay? And you're going to reaffirm that, yes, this is for me. I am building this. This is a real commitment. This is a real inspiration that says, I'm building my best life. Nothing is going to stop me. I know who I am, okay? I got to figure all this air and fire stuff out, but I'm not giving up on my dream. And maybe this is, not giving up on the relationship. Maybe this is saying that I'm going to sort of reconnect with my true self and my higher self, and I'm going to shine my light even brighter out into the world now. That we're not going to let this frustration diminish or in any way dim our self-expression, right? I feel like you have a gift to give the world. And there are obstacles now, and those obstacles seem to be repeating, and it seems to be providing more and more frustration for you. You've got to break this cycle and sort of get back to the flow. I want to look at our mystery card. I want to see a 6 of something, right? Because we've got 2, we've got 5, 4, 5, right? We've got the 7. And really the 2 and the 4 are very important too, because the 7, the 5, and the 5 are active numbers, right? Odd numbered cards. So these represent activities. The 4 and the 2 represent the cessation of activities. Now I'm off the carousel. The ride has stopped. I'm sleeping at night, right? These are even numbered cards. And I think this is really what we want. We want to put an end to this repetition. And we want to just have a little bit of peace of mind. We want to get out of that frustrated energy. I want to see a 6, because a 6 will be a very harmonious state of flow. Maybe a 6 of swords where, we're in this more harmonious interaction with other people. The relationship has stabilized and has become more of a, more of a loving exchange, right? Maybe a 6 of cups, because The lack of water energy that we have in the spread altogether is kind of saying that, no, it's all frustration. It's all thinking and getting getting angry. We don't see any love. We don't see any creativity right now, right? It's framed by the spiritual energy of the major arcana, but it's all just frustration. So maybe we need a little bit of water energy here. Once we get away from this stressful energy, this stressful combination of forces, this tangle, this drama, maybe we're going to start feeling better. Maybe we're going to start feeling more creative. We're going to be in the flow of our work, and it's going to be smooth, you know? Maybe it'll be a 6 of Swords or a 6 of Cups. Well, it's an 8 of Pentacles. Okay. Well, at least we are building, right? And the 8 of Pentacles is kind of saying that, look, you know what? I'm a little more peaceful. I'm showing up every day. I'm just doing my work. I'm doing what I need to do. We don't have the air or the fire energy anymore. We don't have that frustration. It's kind of like we're in that peaceful zen of just getting into the repetitive flow of our daily grind. You know, we are building this life, and it is a matter of showing up every day and doing the work little by little, step by step, making gradual progress. Maybe we can do it in a way that doesn't frustrate the hell out of us, you know? And so, for instance, the eight of Pentacles here, someone that goes to work and doesn't get caught up in all the drama with everybody else and leaves work frustrated and then can't sleep at night and then dreads going in tomorrow. No, this is someone that just shows up. They feel calm, peaceful. This is somebody who's building their life. They've slept well that night, right? They got a really good night's sleep. They don't care. I'm not here for the drama. I'm here to do what I need to do. I'm here to build my life. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to express my purpose. I'm here to do my best. And I don't care about the bureaucracy. I don't care about the office politics. I don't care about the arguments. I don't want to get involved in the drama and get all agitated and worked up over that. No, I want to sit here. I'm going to do my work, and I'm going to feel calm and peaceful. And you know what? I'm going to go home and I'm going to sleep like a baby, right? Because I'm not tangled up in that junk anymore. This might be really leaving and doing something else. Maybe that's not the right environment for you. And now you're in a new environment where you can just be left alone to do what you need to do to create your work, to create your life, to build whatever it is you build. Yeah, I like this card. This is really, it's just kind of, we're away from all the drama. We just got our head down. We're doing what we need to do. Yeah, and this is how we make progress. You can't do a good job if we're in this frustrated, anxious energy. If we're agitated, right? We're not going to perform very well. So we have this calm peacefulness to us, and I think we're going to make a lot more progress a lot more quickly. Yeah. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do a hexagram from the Jing. We'll do some oracle cards. There's a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Capricorn Thursday and Sunday. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.